How you doing, children?
Um, okay. And we're recording episode. This is episode five.
Yeah, I
Five.
mean,
Well,
episode 4 was kind of a...
this is the sixth episode we recorded, and the fifth one that's posting because that we're gonna have to go back and listen through that original fourth one time because that was dog shit. But you asked a question. How are you doing, Dirty? How's your last week been?
it was all right. I went to the doctor, and I should be off restriction in a couple weeks.
Off restriction for your dislocated shoulder.
Yeah, uh, work seems to really have the logic down, because even though I'm not supposed to be lifting over 15 pounds, they told me that I should be pulling deliveries, so, you know, moving around 400-pound fridges and washers and dryers is fine.
Well, I mean that makes sense. You could use just the one arm, right?
Sure. That's easy enough. By the way, I just want to say, with that hat and that mustache that you got going on, you should definitely be at a NASCAR event and smoking that unfiltered cigarette.
I'm
Billy.
wearing this is a Jimmy Johnson hat. I think 48. Yeah, I'm wearing a Jimmy Johnson baseball hat. I'm doing Movember where I'm just growing out my mustache this month, and I am smoking an unfiltered American Spirit cigarette. So I can't say I disagree with you, but I am deeply offended by by that statement.
Why? Because hillbillies usually don't smoke American spirits. They're smoking a Marlboro Red.
Yeah, that's the only way it could be worse. Than a Marlboro Red or a Camel unfiltered.
Fucking disgusting. Either way. But how's your Movember going? Because I noticed that you can't really seem to take a selfie of yourself without covering up your mustache.
It's just so different and so weird. I don't think it's necessarily like bad, but I think it looks so odd that it makes me cringe when I see myself like this.
Because it looks like 70s porn actor.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I can actually grow somewhat of a mustache. It's not a big bushy thing, but I mean you can tell that it's a mustache because I get a lot of like red in my facial hair. So when it was first growing out, it looked really funny. But now that it's kind of in there, it looks like a somewhat legitimate mustache, I'd say.
Yeah, that's why I just grow out the chin.
What exactly would it look like if you tried to grow out your mustache?
It would just look like I have some dirt on my face, really. Like 2 or 3 hairs that get really dark.
Oh, is the rest like just like peach fuzz almost, or
I don't even think that there is anything else. I think it's just like 3 or 4 hairs.
well, well, that could look interesting if you were to do it.
Oh yeah, I definitely get women that way.
Dirty, you don't get women this way.
That's,
I stand corrected. I stand corrected. You got a date next week?
yeah, the day after Thanksgiving.
What are you guys doing?
I'm just going over to her house. We're gonna watch the movies. Her kid's gonna be at the dead, so
Oh, nice. Do you have any movies in mind you're gonna watch?
no, she's picking out the movies.
I've got
I'm kind of just there for the ride.
I've got a copy of Shitter Sex you can borrow if you want to watch with her.
Maybe for the second date.
Yeah, that's not really first date material, I don't think.
Mm, no, usually save that one for number 2.
Are you gonna stay the night with her, or
Uh, that's really up to her.
right? No,
Uh,
good.
my thought is whenever she's tired of me, I'll leave. I don't want to overstay my welcome.
So are you gonna try to pick up on her cues to see if she gets annoyed or bored or irritated or anything, and then
Yeah,
leave?
I mean, if she like throws her arms up in the air, starts yawning, and does something like that, I'll just be like, I think I'm gonna go home.
Yeah. Does she live in the same town as you, or is she up in Michigan?
No, she's up in Bristol,
Oh, okay. Okay, so
and like, I'm pretty sure where she is up there, it's only like maybe a 15-minute drive for me.
Oh, okay, so that's not bad. No,
No.
you're driving 2 hours to go and see her.
No. No, I'm done with that shit.
You used to do that quite often, didn't you? I don't know if it was necessarily 2 hours, but it was quite a hike.
Yeah, it'd be like 45 minutes, hour, sometimes an hour and a half.
Yeah, no thanks. I'll take a hard pass on that one.
Well, yeah, when it comes to like an hour, well, after I, after I hit about 25, I was just like, I remember one time I drove and it was like a fucking hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle of there, I was just thinking I should just turn around. Like, this is bullshit. I'm fucking tired right now. Just driving.
Yep. Oh,
And then after that, I never went back.
really?
No.
We didn't talk. We talked about it on every other podcast. Tonight we're drinking Jim Beam whiskey. I've got it cut with Diet Coke. You've got what, a little bit of water in there.
Yeah, just a little bit to take away the bitterness.
Take away the burn.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
it tastes great. I'm on drink number 2.
Are you? How much is left in that fucking bottle?
Well over half. It's like,
Let me see.
all right.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just curious because the last time when you were drinking out of my bottle, it was in about 15 minutes. It went from 3/4 to about 1/4.
I've only been drinking for a half hour, so I think I'm doing pretty good.
You're doing very, very well. I'm proud of you.
So how was your week? Anything new or exciting happen?
No, I worked all fucking week, and it was the same old bullshit dealing with truck drivers and regulations and idiocy. My one driver who is a of Nazi descent, I would say, he hasn't been bugging me, so that's kind of nice. God, usually when I get home from work, he's calling me and texting me and messaging me on Facebook. He's a great guy. I really enjoy talking to him, but it gets to be a little too much, you know. And especially when like I'm home and he wants to talk work. It's like I was at work for 9, 10, 11 hours today. I don't want to talk about work when I'm at home. I'm trying to jack off. You know what I mean?
So do you have him talk about Nazi stuff then?
No, because he's not like an actual. I shouldn't say of Nazi descent. He's not like an actual Nazi, but he has a family heirloom belt buckle that he wears 365 days a year. It's all silver, and it's got the swastika stamped on it. It's kind of. First time I saw it, I can definitely say I was shocked. Not much shocks me anymore, but that was a jaw-dropping moment when I saw that.
To see it live in person.
Yeah, I mean, like an actual person I'm talking to that's 2 feet away from me, swastika on his belt.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's way worse than if he had like the Confederate flag on his belt. At least then you could say, all right, he's from the South.
Yeah, he's just a redneck.
Or,
no.
you know, he's from Michigan and his family's from Michigan, and for some reason they have Southern pride when they all grew up in the North.
Right. Yeah, I don't get that. A lot of people from Michigan are like as soon as you cross the border from Indiana and Michigan, it's like you went south 400 miles.
I just don't get, because like we're in the North. Why are you supporting the side that lost? You're just saying that, hey, my whole family grew up in the South and we were losers. I'm gonna support the fact that we lost.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's not in my family history, so I don't know what could possibly be going through their minds. I mean, I don't think it's a racist showing like a whole lot of people do. I think it's stupid. I mean, like you said, it's the losing side of the war, but
Yeah, I don't really think it's racist. I think it's just holding on to some form. Like, I could see it in the South.
yeah.
I
Oh
can see
yeah.
it in
Oh
the
yeah.
South, but like up here, no.
Yeah, absolutely not. No.
No, I just don't see it at all. Like, read a history book, you moron.
Well, to be fair, the people who are wearing the flag and driving around with the 4x6 flag in the back of their pickup truck, they can't really read.
But, like, I think it's hilarious that they have that and the American flag in the back of the truck.
Right.
So, like, they're a little bit confused. They don't know who they want.
Hey, do you have that lighter, or did I take it? Oh, I found it. Never mind.
But, oh, so I don't know if we actually talked about it last week, but I remember that a couple of weeks ago you had sent a picture of this girl, which I thought was you doing like that face swap thing.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever meet up with her, or what happened there?
No, I haven't yet. I gotta check. I think she might have sent me a message earlier, and I forgot to respond. We talk every day on Snapchat, but hold on, let me see. Oop, yep. I forgot to respond. I'll respond later. But yeah, no, we just talk a lot. I don't know. I work a lot Monday through Friday, and then Friday evenings you and I do this, and then Saturday college football's on, and then Sunday pro football's on. But she likes football, so maybe I could like meet up with her to watch like a football game or something.
Yeah, does she seem at least sane?
Oh, like too sane. Like I can joke with her the shit that we joke about. I can talk to her about like literally anything, and we're like kind of on the same wavelength. We might not agree 100%, but we're definitely like we can see each other's thought processes and stuff. So it's kind of weird. So I think that too might be why I'm kind of slow on meeting her.
Yeah, but you know what? If it ends up kind of being like another version of you, you should definitely go for it.
Yeah.
I think that we could use someone in the group that's not a moron. That we,
What do you mean? You already got me.
yeah, I know, but like we could use a third.
Well, yeah, no. I mean somebody who could get along with you and I well, as opposed to like my one ex that you've talked about multiple times that you absolutely hate. Yeah. But I mean, and I think we've talked about this before. You got along pretty well with my last ex, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. She was cool. We played we played board games
Cards Against Humanity, Uno.
well it was when we were playing Risk, and it was one of the first nights she stayed here, and it was time to go to bed. She had already went to bed. She got pretty drunk, and she went to bed maybe, I don't know, an hour or two before I did. And I went, got ready for bed, went in the room, and I noticed she's sleeping on the bed. There's no sheet on the bed. And she's laying there, and I thought she was asleep, and I like crouched in, and I like rubbed her hair out of her face, and she opened her eyes and looked at me, and she goes, while smiling, I threw up on the bed and started to giggle. Like, what the fuck? And my sheet was balled up in a ball on the floor. At least she had the thought process to take the fucking sheet off the bed and wasn't laying in the throw up. But that was an interesting night.
Yeah, she was good people. But you know,
She was one person, dirty.
shut up. I know what I said. Fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we need a third person.
Yeah.
We need another person to have on here on occasion.
Yeah, and that would be nice to have a female voice on here. Probably.
Yeah, instead of just having us.
Your dirty ass and my
scumbag.
beautiful ass.
Yeah, scumbag. But no, actually, I can't wait until next week. I've been trying to set this up for like 2 years.
Oh, hanging out with this girl.
Oh yeah. It's just never really worked out.
Yeah, I do remember you couple years ago saying something about wanting to meet her and hang out. Not like meet her because you've met her before, but I mean like hang out with her like that and stuff.
Yeah, and then we talked about it last year, and then shit just kind of didn't work out. So, and then I didn't really talk to her for a few months. I think she was dating someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, just like kind of out of nowhere, just kind of hit me up, and then started texting and all that
Yeah.
shit. So,
That's something I remember seeing her at school like often, but I never realized that that was our mutual friend's sister. I mean, I don't think she looks like him at all, which is a good thing for you.
yeah, it's kind of weird though, because I remember back in high school, I don't know if he was joking, but he was like, "Want me to set you up with her?" And at the time, I think I was either a junior, just turned 18, and she was a freshman.
Oh yeah,
And I was like, no thanks. And
yeah. I'll
also
pass on that.
back then she kind of looked a little bit weird.
She did. Yeah.
And then I think a couple years ago I gave him a ride, and like she tagged along. And at first I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, oh, she's not looking too bad now.
Right.
And she was talking about, because she had just, she was breaking up with her ex because she found out he was cruising on Craigslist looking for transgender women.
Nice.
Yeah, and I just like made a couple of quick jokes, and she
Right.
thought that was hilarious. And then like she added me on Facebook. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
This pretty girl's fucking added me on Facebook, and then like she would say a few things. I'd be like, is she flirting with me? And then I was like,
No.
And then like last year when we were talking, she was like, yeah, no, I was flirting with you back then. I was like, oh, God damn it.
Yeah. Right.
Like, what the fuck?
Let me just interject here and say there's nothing wrong with trans girls. There's one that you and I both looked at earlier today who is pretty fucking hot. Blair White. You can't even deny.
No,
Dirty.
I'm not denying it.
You just looked in pain when I said that.
I just didn't think that you were going to bring it up that casually.
What? There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with it. I'm just saying, like, I didn't think that you were just going to bring it up like that and then mention that person's name.
She's famous. It's
Well,
fine.
yeah, I know, but still.
And she's hot. And even if she does have a little wiener, that's okay in my book.
He will suck it dry. Not the first time. Stop licking me.
Sorry, I was deep in thoughts. I was trying to figure out if I would do that or not. It depends. If it were like tiny little, like 2.5, 3-incher, like thin, attached to that body, yeah, I probably would. But like if it were like a fucking cock, like
Like a 12-inch cock. You better believe that you're sucking it.
no. I mean, if it were like bigger than mine, hell no. Hell no.
Don't lie.
Okay,
I almost fucking
who I'm
grabbed
kidding.
I almost grabbed the wrong thing.
Here, hold on. Let me take a swig of this and I'll give it to you.
All right. But no, I'm a little bit surprised that you didn't even like. Well, actually, I can't say I'm surprised because I know that you, after work, you prefer your alone time and time to cool down.
100%.
Yeah, me too. Except when I get off of work, it's like 9 o'clock at night, so
Right.
I have no choice but to have my alone time.
Well, see, and that's what's weird about me because, like, I'd say generally I want to be alone, but then, like, every now and then I'll get a bug up my ass where I'll want to, like, hang out with people. So that really fucking sucks when, everybody knows I don't like to do shit, but then when I do want to do shit, like, I don't want to reach out to somebody and be like, oh, hey, let's hang out, and then them say no, and then I'm fucking stuck here doing nothing but jacking off to pictures of Blair White.
You see, like me, yeah, I generally do not want to do anything with anyone. Like I have someone at work that always wants me to go to the gym with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind that so much, but when I go to the gym, they like to talk my ear off for a half hour. When I go to the gym, I like to work out,
You like to go to the gym,
go to the gym, work out, and get out. I
right?
don't like sit, especially if I take my pre-workout,
Mm-hmm.
because then I'm on borrowed time.
Right.
So you're chatting my ear off. I'm losing that pre-workout buzz.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah. So like, sometimes I will go to the gym with her, and then sometimes I will intentionally go when I know that she's not gonna be there.
Yeah, yeah, just
But
yeah.
then like I look forward to like Fridays when I come over here because well there's a lot of shit I can't say at work, so I know I can say it around you.
Right. Yeah, yeah, no, I get that, and like, it's structured. You and I both know Friday after work, after I get off work, that's like the set time when we're gonna hang out and do stuff. It's not just like a random Tuesday. Hey, what are you doing? Let's hang out. When in my mind I already had planned. Okay, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna come back and watch Netflix. You know, even though I'm doing nothing, I've got this all planned out in my mind what I'm gonna do. And then when you try to fuck that up, it like throws a wrench in everything, and I get pissed off. And I don't. I just still do what I was gonna do.
Yeah, I mean I think that's why it kind of works out because I have Fridays off. And then you get off of work on Friday.
Right.
Then we hang out, and then I typically leave sometime on Saturday.
Yeah.
So then that leaves you the rest of Saturday and Sunday to do whatever you want to do. I do whatever I want to do for the rest of Saturday, and then Sunday through Thursday, I'm just
Working.
yeah. I wouldn't even say that.
But just yeah,
I
just
work for a few hours.
doing your own thing.
Yeah, which I really enjoy.
Yeah.
Like people always ask me, "What do you do outside work?" It's like,
Nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
well, I do certain things, but like it's just whatever the fuck I want to do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I mean, it's not like, oh, I'm gonna go out to the club, the bar, or I'm gonna go do this. It's just basic mundane tasks almost.
Oh yeah, and let's face it, I honestly hate going out to the bar. Typically.
I know you do. That's so weird.
I just, I'm not a big fan of being around like a whole group, like a
Right.
big fucking group of people.
Right.
No, like let's say if it were like, hey, want to go? Like, let's say if I had a different schedule and you were like, hey, you want to go to the bar, and it was like a Tuesday night.
When it's
I,
not fucking packed and
yeah, and you were like, yeah, no, me, you, and so
right.
are gonna go, and then I'd be like, yeah, sure, that sounds fucking great, I'll be there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like on
Just
a
a couple of us, a small
Friday and
group.
it's
Yeah.
fucking packed.
Right. No, I respect that. Uh, so next week is Thanksgiving. So you're coming over here for Thanksgiving, right?
Oh, definitely. Where else am I gonna get food?
Uh, do you think you'll come over Wednesday or?
Yeah, I'll be over. I'll come over after work on Wednesday.
Okay, do you think you're gonna stay over Thursday too, or?
Yeah, I'll stay over Thursday too because, like I said, I'm going over to her house
Yeah.
Friday, so I'll probably just leave from here over there.
Yeah. So we'll probably and this is gonna be weird because this will probably come out on Wednesday, but who the fuck am I kidding? There's gonna be like 2 people that listen to this, but so I figure Thursday is gonna be a whole lot of beer drinking and food eating and shit. So that's why I asked if you're gonna stay over Thursday also, because I figure we can just drink literally all day Thursday and then kind of recover. Well, I'll recover Friday while you're going off and doing your own thing.
Let's face it, though. I'm looking forward to recording the podcast, but most of all, eating the delicious food that your mom's gonna make. I enjoy this every year.
Yeah, yeah. She's a pretty good cook when it comes to that sort of shit. I want to get. I think I want to wake. Jesus Christ! I think I want to make some of that macaroni and cheese.
The baked
Um,
one?
Yeah, yeah. That shit they got out of that cookbook. That's some pretty good shit. I'll maybe get some bacon and throw on top of it and or mix into it. I don't know if I don't think I want to put chicken into it too, just because there's gonna be turkey and um, Rick's gonna bring over ham, so I don't want to have all that like, because I think once you put chicken into it, it becomes like a main course, as opposed to like a side dish, you know?
Yeah, and it becomes just way too filling, and then
Yeah.
and the thing I like about it too is like your mom's turkey is probably the only one that I've ever had in my life that doesn't turn out dry every fucking year.
Yeah.
Like my mom was a great cook.
Uh huh.
Fucking loved it. Two things that she really couldn't make:
Mhm.
turkey and pork chops. I fucking
Oh
told.
yeah.
I remember one time I told her because she made pork chops, and I was like, "Why the fuck do you keep making pork chops? None of us like it. Even you say it's dry. Why do you keep making this shit?" She was pissed.
Well, that's I. Yeah, I think what that comes from is back in the day, um, it was thought that you had to cook pork to well done, like you have to do chicken. Like chicken has to be well done, 165 degrees. But now they've come out, or I don't know if they've just the way they raise pigs have changed. But you can cook it to I think medium, and it's fine. So you're not cooking out all the fucking juices and chewing on a fucking cactus.
Yeah, that's oh my god, fucking pork chops. You make that shit, and then I just to throw in another one under the bus that she ruined for me is pancakes. But
How do you fuck up pancakes?
she didn't fuck them up. She made them too much. She made them too often.
Oh, so you got sick of it.
Yeah, because she would make like breakfast for dinner
Mm-hmm.
on occasion, and every time she did that shit, all right, not every time. There's one of two things. She'd either make like scrambled eggs, sausage, and shit like that, like
Right.
and potatoes, or it'd be fucking pancakes. More times than not, it was pancakes because it was fucking cheaper to make.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So, like, can you ever eat pancakes now, or
No,
seriously?
no, I hate pancakes.
I think the only thing, and I could probably eat it now, but back when I was a kid, when we lived in Ohio, my dad, when my parents were still together, my dad was in charge of grocery shopping for like a year, and the only cereal or breakfast food he would get would be cinnamon toast crunch. So that's all that I ate for breakfast for God knows how long. And for the longest time, I could not eat it. But I think now it's been, fuck, Jesus Christ, it's been 15 years. So I could probably eat it now.
You know, it's weird because like when it comes to cereal though, there's
Mhm.
only two cereals I'll eat. And it's funny too because one of them is the generic brand. So I'll either eat,
Raisin Bran?
well, I eat Raisin Bran Crunch. I
Yeah.
eat that. I eat name brand Raisin Bran
Okay.
Crunch. The other one is the generic Walmart brand of Cocoa Pebbles. The one that
What?
comes in like
Yeah.
the fucking 2 pound
The
bag.
big ass bag.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know why, but like I think it's actually better. It tastes like even sweeter than the Cocoa
really?
Pebbles. But yeah, besides that, no, I won't really eat anything else. Like there for a little bit, I could eat like what's that one? The one with Tony the Tiger.
Frosted Flakes?
Yeah, Frosted Flakes. I could eat that,
Mm-hmm.
but it had like this weird thing where like it had like a weird taste where like it wasn't really sweet. It was just like dry. So like it wasn't sweet and it was kind of dry. Had a plain taste, so I would have to like take a teaspoon of sugar and just like sprinkle it on
yeah.
there, and it was just like,
Yeah, there's so many cereals I love. I love, what is that, Cookie Crisp, Reese's Puffs. Oreo O's are probably my favorite of all time. Like French Toast Crunch, Cocoa Puffs. I'm okay on Cocoa Pebbles. Fruity Pebbles are good. Fruit Loop. Pick a fucking cereal. I like it.
yeah, I never like. And I know you always give me shit, but like Reese's Pieces. Now I remember when I was in like the first grade, maybe kindergarten, I ate it.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not a big fan of it though. Not anymore.
You're talking like Reese's Pieces, not like Reese's Cups.
Yeah, yeah, my bad. Yeah,
Which ones?
not the cups.
Okay. I just want to clarify. Yeah.
Yeah, and oh, what was the other one? Like Fruit Loops, like you said. Like I couldn't get into that. Lucky Charms, people seem to like, but I was just like the only thing good about it was the marshmallows.
See, I hate marshmallows. I fucking hate. I don't. Marshmallows and cereal are terrible to me.
To be fair, it's the only thing good in Lucky Charms. So, like, whenever I would have it, I'd pick out the cereal and eat the fucking
Just-
marshmallows.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah, look how I turned out.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, whenever they'd run like promos where you get like special free stuff in like cereal or whatever it may be, even if I hated it, I would want it. So I remember when I was probably 4 or 5. I'd have been 4 or 5 years old. Lucky Charms ran this thing where like I think 1 in 3 boxes had like a lucky coin in it, and I told my mom I love Lucky Charms just so she would buy it till I got one of those shiny green coins with the clover leaf on it. And that was like as soon as I got that, I did not want the Lucky Charms anymore.
Yeah, I would do that shit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But, like, it was, like, anytime I saw, like, a box of cereal where it might have a toy in it, I'd be like,
Yeah.
I want that one. It'd be, like, the same thing, like, going to McDonald's and getting a Happy Meal.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And seeing, like, the toys that they have. Like, I want a Happy Meal. And then, like, if I got the toy, I'd be, like, pissed off. I'd be like, duh, fucking these chicken nuggets. Even though I love them. But, like, no, I'd be doing shit like that. But speaking of when we were kids, so I don't think I've ever mentioned this.
Like to me ever, or
Yeah, so, like, when I was a kid, so, like, I was a really picky eater. And for some reason, my hillbilly ass, every day for lunch, for some reason, they would make me a bologna sandwich, right?
your parents, or
My mom.
Okay.
Let's not get
Well,
confused. My
yeah.
dad wasn't making me no goddamn sandwiches. He was taking me to go get the Happy Meal and shut me up. But my mom, she would make me bologna sandwiches.
Mhm.
Fucking one day. Now, my older brothers, they would torture me. They were there.
right?
She was not. So they make my oldest brother makes bologna sandwich. This fucking pisses me off even to today. Now, if I saw a thumbprint in the fucking sandwich, I would be livid.
Right.
When my mom
That's
would make
understandable.
it,
Yeah.
and she would remake it.
She would make her fucking.
I wouldn't ask, but like she would know that it pissed me off, so she would like remake it. My brother intentionally would fucking stick his thumb through the goddamn sandwich. Right? And they would give me a pop for lunch, right?
Mhm.
This motherfucker wasted 3 pops. He would open up the pop before he would give it to me, and he would pour salt in the fucking
What the
pop
fuck?
just to piss me off. All
Oh
right.
my god.
And my mom got so fucking pissed at him when I told him that. But like, yeah, no. So that shit would happen. That shit still drives me nuts today. One time, we were getting around from work and we were working at the same place. And I was like, hey, can you make me a sandwich? Dude, I'm like 24 years old. This motherfucker stuck his thumb through the goddamn bread of my sandwich.
Oh,
And I was like, what the fuck is this? You wasted 2 pieces of bread to stick your fucking thumb through it?
oh my god. Is this your oldest brother or your middle brother?
Oh yeah, my oldest. That fucking asshole.
That is fucking hilarious.
This is the same one that locked me outside in the wintertime. He fucking like, I don't know what the fuck he did. But like, I just remember being outside, tired as shit.
How oldish?
I was like 4, in my goddamn underwear in the fucking wintertime.
Oh.
Wintertime, snow, like, and he fucking locked me out. This is the same brother, all right? He was falling down a flight of stairs, and I'm like 5. I reach out, I grab his arm to keep him from going. This motherfucker came up with a punch and punched me in the fucking face.
What the fuck? That's
This is the same brother who also that day threw me down the fucking stairs.
that is so like I can't relate to that at all because like me and my brothers fought we argued all the time, but we never ever got into like fit like I never punched my brother in the face or like did anything that fucking wild.
Oh, I fucking did all the time. I chipped their fucking teeth when I was like 4, 5, 6.
Oh my god.
One time I remember my brother, he's playing No Mercy.
WWF the
No,
Nintendo game?
yeah.
Uh-huh.
He was playing No Mercy just out of fucking nowhere. So he's on the bed. I just come out of nowhere. So he's on the left side of the bed. I fucking come out of nowhere. I fucking make a dash towards the bed. All right. So I come through the door. I fucking do a flip, like a front flip.
Mhm.
I fucking kicked him right in the face.
What the fuck? I remember playing the Nintendo back fucking forever ago, and I'd be playing like a football game or a baseball game, and my middle brother Dan he learned from one of my cousins that this he called it a trick, or if I was playing Dan and I was like beating him, and he'd get pissed off, he'd spit on the screen and pull the cartridge out and tell me there was a rain delay on the game. So when you would pull the fucking cartridge out, everything would freeze and you can't play anymore. So now I got spit all over the fucking TV, and I'm beating my brother 86-0 in the second quarter, and I can't finish the goddamn game because he fucking reset it.
My oldest brother would do that to my middle brother, except what he would do, he would yank the power cord out. One and now they're closer in age. There's a 3 year gap.
Uh-huh.
So my middle brother was probably 12. Oldest brother was 15. He did that one day. He fucking flipped out. He fucking jumped on him and he had him by the throat with both hands. I'll fucking kill you. He's fucking choking the shit out of him. And my dad goes running into the room and he like at first he was gonna stop it and then he just started laughing. And then he fucking pulled him off like 5 minutes later. Like he fucking choking the shit out of him.
That's fucking awesome. I need to take a time out. I really gotta pee.
Alright.
Okay, we're back. I feel much better.
Alright, so like I just remembered, so like based off of what you would you think I was kind of like a wild child?
Based off of how I know you or how I knew you in school?
Both.
Oh, fuck. How I knew you in school, no. How I know you as a person, I wouldn't say wild, but I would say a fucking asshole.
Alright, so when I was a kid, I remember these fucking assholes. So, well, actually, I shouldn't really say that. I was being a fucking asshole. I was probably about 6.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, I was actually kind of strong at 6.
Right.
Because
You got the... I can't say that, never mind.
Yeah. Probably shouldn't say it, asshole. But, so my oldest brother is 10 years older than me. Middle brother's 7 years older than me. I don't remember what started it. I just remember how it finished.
Mm-hmm.
These motherfuckers had me, they each, so one on each side, had me in a fucking armbar. So one had my right arm, the other one had my left arm, and they were fucking trying to get me to tap for like 20 minutes. I'm just sitting there like, no, fuck you. I'm fucking struggling and shit, trying to fucking like maneuver and kick them and shit for like 20 minutes. This shit would happen like 3-4 times a week where like I would try and take these motherfuckers on. Like I remember like when I was a kid, so my oldest brother, he lived in the basement. And he got into this kick where he got like a bunch of boxing equipment. Like he had like the chest guard, you know, the boxing gloves, the headgear, the punching bag, the speed bag, He had like weights in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, he would actually have me fucking lifting weights in the basement and fucking hitting the punching bag and sparring with him when I was like 6.
What the? And he's like 16.
Yeah,
That's fucking hilarious.
because cause like I said before, I would just like chip their fucking teeth all the time, like knock a tooth out or something. I remember one time. This is kind of crazy. I think one of our cousins was spending the weekend. Parents were out. Fucking horrible idea. And we're just fucking around. Like, we're just like throwing each other around, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting pissed off because, I'm like 6 and, they're much older. I take a pillowcase, go to the freezer.
Mm-hmm.
I fucking fill it all up with ice. But we had the ice machine.
Oh, okay.
So I would just like sit there. I fucking pushed it. I put all of the ice. I filled this pillowcase up with ice. My oldest brother, is fucking around with the middle brother. So while he's doing that, I come up from behind and I just full on swing the pillowcase with the ice and fucking hit him upside the head. And he went down like a bag of rocks for like 5 minutes.
Oh shit. That's fucking awesome.
Probably the best hit I had on him.
No.
And there was this one time where he was working at a fast food place. All right, so he had his own money. And he was like going to sleep or something. I just like snuck in. I thought it was going to be fucking like real sneaky and like cool as shit and like steal $20. So I go in, I take the money. I didn't know that he wasn't asleep. So as I'm going out, he goes, "You motherfucker!" And he tackled me, and he's like trying to get the 20. I got my arm reached down and shit, and he's like trying to choke me and shit and get the 20.
Oh my god. You saying that reminds me of when I think we were still in high school. You used to steal weed from your brother. I remember because you and I used to smoke together, right? Kinda, sorta.
We smoked like once or twice. I think one time I think I might have smoked. It might have been like that one time with our other friends.
With everybody,
Yeah, on the porch, and then like I went downstairs and Tom was your brother, our engineer, now he was playing Madden, and he like had it on rookie or something. He's scoring like 100 and something points. I'm just sitting there like fucking like not passed out, but I'm just like dazed. I'm like gazing off at the fucking TV and shit, just kind of like passed out and shit.
No. That couldn't have been that time, because that time when we were all sitting on the porch smoking, we all it was you, me, and what, 5 or 6 other kids, and we either skipped school or left school early because we smoked because that had the fancy name. And no, never mind. You're right. Because I had I think I had 4 grams of that stuff, and you, me, and all them, we smoked 2 grams of it, and then another time I smoked 2 grams. But yeah. Tom was there. Tom was there because Tom wasn't. There were a couple black kids with us, and Tom wasn't familiar with. There weren't many black people here, so he was like, whatever, 5 at the time, or 8,
So 10, but still.
Yeah, I guess it was senior year, so he was 10. But yeah, he was like, he wasn't scared, but he was just like confused, like he doesn't look like us, like.
I don't think I've seen this before. I don't know what this is.
But that was the only time I ever got high and actually like legitimately enjoyed it, because that high for me was like a up high, like I was like fucked up, but it gave me energy. Like every other time I smoked, and I haven't smoked in years now. But every other time I smoked, it just made me like sleepy and just tired, and that's not fun. Like you and I, we could grab a bottle of fucking NyQuil and do that by ourselves legally.
That shit was terrible for me.
What? That G13?
Yeah,
The
that
weed?
shit was terrible for me.
What I would
Fucking all like I was like out like a zombie. I remember I had to go with the one dude to like the gas station, and then like we got there. I was like, "What the fuck am I doing here?" No, it was terrible. But like that's how it's been like the last few times I've done it, and I haven't done it in a few years. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Oh no, it's been not as long as I thought because the so I had not I wouldn't say I ever regularly smoked. Like I used to sell it in high school. And did we talk about this at all on any of the other podcasts?
I don't think so.
So so senior year I would sell it, and um I would prey on like freshmen who like want to smoke weed, want to be cool. So like I don't even know if this word is relevant anymore with how popular it is, but like we'd get mids. It was like $5 a gram is what you'd sell it to, is what you would sell it for any, to anybody else. But freshmen, you could sell that shit for 25 bucks a gram. And my like wholesale price was like $2 to $2.50 a gram. So I'm making 10 times what I spent on it to these kids, and I'd make up like stupid fucking names to tell these kids what it was. And there's this one kid, he bought so much fucking weed for me, but I I remember one time I told him, "Oh man, I got this shit. It's called Hamburger Helper." He's like, "Why is it called that?" I'm like, "Because when you eat it, you don't crave anything but Hamburger Helper." And I just came up with this bullshit to tell him about this Hamburger Helper, and I sold him a couple grams. He gave me way too much fucking money for it. And then the next day at school, he came and he's like, "You were fucking right. I I went home. Me and my buddies, we smoked it. I told him about it." And we went and we got some fucking Hamburger Helper, and that's all that we needed. And that was the best shit that we ever ate in our fucking lives, man. I'm like, yeah, do you want to buy some more? It's like, well, I got to get some more money from my mom, but I'll get a hold of you tomorrow.
And I gotta get some more hamburger helper. Fucking ate it all. Yeah, people are like when you think back on it, people are fucking stupid in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But like I remember when I would steal from him. I remember one time he caught me.
Stealing his weed?
Yeah, but like he was fucking shit faced.
Uh-huh.
And I was just like so he caught me in the middle. Like I had my hand on the fucking nugget. And he caught me and like he kind of looked and I was just like fucking put it right back into my I just like pulled it out of there. I'm like, let's go for the remote. And he fucking believed it. Dude, I have no idea how much I stole from, how much weed I stole from him.
Mm-hmm.
I remember senior year, he had one of those big ass, one of those giant freezer bags.
Like
filled.
a gallon freezer bag?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Filled. I took a fucking enough to fill my hand. And he didn't notice.
Holy shit.
And and how I would do it, so when I would put it in the plastic bag, I would make sure all the air was out, roll it up fucking tight.
Uh-huh.
I fucking smoked on that for at least a month.
Jesus.
Smoked on it for at least a month. I would smoke I would smoke after school before bed.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was like, I wonder how it'd be to go to school fucking high. So I would smoke it before school. Best decision.
Where I was where I was going bringing this up was I know you remember, but there was one time we were hanging out. It was you, me, Chet. It was you, me, and Chet, and I was 16 at the time. Chet was 15. We were going to hang out with these girls who were younger than us, but you were with us. You had some weed you stole from your brother, and I don't remember the specifics, but me and Chet dropped you off at your place. We picked these girls up, and then we were parked. I guess it was marked no parking where we were at, but I didn't realize it. And we were all talking, hanging out, and I look up. There's a cop behind me, and I'm like, oh shit! So I turn the car on to take off and move, and he turns his lights on. So I'm like, fuck, okay. And as we're sitting there, Chet looks at me and goes, "What if Max left his weed in here?" Because I think you were talking about stopping smoking, or so, you
I made a joke and I said, if I see the cops, I'm throwing it under Chet's seat.
right. So now we've dropped you off, and we've got
Oh, and by the way, on the way there, so that was in the red van, and there was those little pockets behind the front seats.
like a magazine holder or whatever.
So as I was saying that, I had stuffed it behind his seat, in the pocket in his seat, but I took it out as I had left.
Okay.
So I had put it in there, but I had taken it out.
Oh my god. So anyways, after a couple minutes, the cop comes up and he's talking to me, gets my license and registration, and he's asking all these questions about everybody who's with me and why they don't have IDs and whatever. I'm like, I'm the only one who's old enough to drive here. Like, I'm 16, he's 15, she's 14, she's 13, 14, however old she is. And he's just being a real asshole. He's like, and he like kind of leans in. He's like, it smells like marijuana in here. Like, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Nobody's smoking marijuana. It's like, there's a strong odor of marijuana coming out of this vehicle right now. And I'm like, oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And he's like, were you guys smoking in here? I said, no, I smoked a cigarette in here earlier. I know I'm not old enough, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, that's not cigarette smoke. I very clearly smell marijuana. I'm like, no, you don't. So we're going back and forth. And he's like, well, you just hang tight. I'm going to get a dog up here. And he goes back to his car. And I look at Chet and the girls, and we are panicking. And I think as this is going on, one of our mutual friends, did he text you or call you, or how did that go?
Yeah, he texted me and he said, "Hey, so I'm listening on the police scanner. Are you and Steve getting pulled over with some underage girls right now?" And I'm like, no, I got out like a half hour ago. I'm like, but keep me informed on what's going on.
Yeah, so anyways, the dog comes, and the dog spends, I don't know, 15 minutes walking around the car, and I think he thought it hit on the van, because I think he was in the van at one point. I can't really remember the specifics of that, but I was fucking terrified because I remembered you making that joke and like doing all that shit. I'm like, if that motherfucker left that here, dropped any of that here, I will fucking gut him as soon as I see him. But thankfully that worked out in my favor.
But like what I love about this, but like later on, like maybe a couple years later, you got pulled over for open container, and they opened up the trunk and they lined up all the bottles, and you tried to say you fucking
hold on. Let me tell the story. Okay, so oh shit, we're at almost an hour. So I'll tell this story and then we'll wrap it up. So I'm hanging out with this girl on, can't remember what day of the week it was, but I didn't work the next day yet. I had to be there at 8 in the morning, and we were hanging out, and it was, I had a couple drinks. I was 19. I had a couple drinks like while we were hanging out, and it was time to take her home. And she lived half hour away?
at least.
Yeah, so we take off. I go to take her home, and I'm I'm 5 minutes away from her house. And the speed limit on this road goes from 50 immediately to 30. So I'm going 50 or 55, whatever, and then right at the 30 mile an hour signpost, like I'm slowing down, I got my foot off the gas and on the brake, there's a cop sitting right where the 30 mile an hour sign is. And he pulls out and he stops me. he clocked me. He clocked me going 49 and a 30. So we're talking. I give him my license and registration. He tells me he smells something in the car, which my dealings with the police, I've come to find out, even if they don't smell anything, they say they smell something so that they can get in the car and search it. But I hadn't been drinking in the car, hadn't been smoking weed or anything. I smoked cigarettes. Talking to us, and might have been because I hate to use this, but the girl I was with is black, so I don't know if he thought whatever. But I didn't have my registration for the car because I was a dumbass and I thought I could just take the plate off my old car, put it on my new car, and we'd be good. So he uses he smells something as a reason to search the car. So the car I had was a 1995 Eagle Talon TSI all-wheel drive. Love that car. It had a hatchback. So her and I get out of the car, and he's going through it. He doesn't find anything. And he asked me to pop the trunk, and I'm like, fuck. Because I knew there was a, 33-gallon black plastic trash bag filled with booze bottles. And there were a couple, booze bottles with, some in them, a little bit of booze in them in the trunk. So he goes through, and I had coats. It was a fucking disaster back there. I'm going through, and he's got the trash bag. I'm like, fuck. And he rips it open. I'm like, okay, I'm going to... I looked at her and said, I'm going to jail. He's going through, and he's got us sitting on the curb, and he's lining them up along the shoulder line. There was no less than, I'd say, 30 bottles he had lined up there. Probably 5 of them had some in there, more than just a couple drops. No, before he did that, before he lined them up, he called me over after he ripped open the trash bag. He's like, what is this? And immediately I go, oh, my friend, he was cleaning his house out, and he asked me to take his trash bag to the dumpster for him, and I just haven't made it there yet, blah, blah, blah. Just trying to lie off my ass. I'm like, oh, but he's 21. It's not like whatever. He's like, oh, what's his name? Didn't give him your real name. Said, oh, it's Max. He goes, oh, do you want to get Max on the phone? And I'm like, yeah, I can. And I start pulling it up, and he goes, to see if he'll bail you out of jail. I'm like, oh, fuck.
This motherfucker don't have any money.
So I'm fucking beyond terrified now. And he has me blown to a breathalyzer, and by the grace of God, I blew all zeros. But then he tells me he's going to call my mom to come get me. And you know my mom, Dirty. My mother is Satan in the flesh. I would have rather spent the night in jail and came up with an excuse to tell her than for her to know what happened. So this motherfucker's got 25, 30 bottles of booze lined up on the road. He calls her, tells her she needs to come get me because my car is getting impounded, blah, blah, blah. She pulls up, and I'm sitting on the road, and I look at her car pull up, just shaking my head, and this fucking long-ass line of booze bottles. She gets out of the car, and I see her see all the bottles. And I see her see me, see her see all the bottles. And the look of disgust, disappointment, and fucking rage that came across her face, I cannot fucking describe to you. Yes, so he talked to her, he talked to me, he let her take me, they impounded my car. Yeah. But the fucking wrath of her that I had to deal with on the ride home, and then for the next however many goddamn days it was till I got my fucking car back.
Oh, it was a while because I remember even then, I think at some point, oh man, it was in impound for a week or two or something.
No, it was a month.
Oh, it was a month?
Yep, it was a month.
That's a fucking big fine.
it was almost $1,000 to get the car out of impound, and I spent $1,500 on the car.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. Well, telling me that you told them, "Oh, it's my friends," and when really I had my own fucking stash in the
Yeah,
trunk.
that. God. Okay, we're at an hour, but I got to tell us this one last story, and then we're done. So, think it was I think it was before all that shit happened. Yeah, yeah, it was a couple months before that happened. Uh, you're 21, I'm 19, and we're gonna get a motel to drink.
Nope. Well, yeah,
Yep,
actually, yeah.
yep. We're gonna get a motel to drink, and there's a shitty motel. I think it's like $50 after tax. Um, you get the room for the night. So I think I was at work and you weren't working that day, so you got the room while I was still working, right?
Uh, at that time I was working the morning, so like I got off at like 9 or 10, and then I went and got the room at like 11.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was still working, and you got the room, and that was the Michigan played Alabama that day because I remember, yeah, fucking 2012 or whenever that was. But so you got the room. I went there. Initially, it was just me, and then our acquaintance Travis, we were talking, and he wanted to come over. So I went and I picked him up, brought him over to the hotel. We had a bottle of vodka and a bottle of champagne, and we're drinking and having fun. And you were gonna come later on in the night, I think, right?
Yeah, I was gonna come later on in the night.
So we're we're hanging out and drinking and whatever, and then our our friend Chet wanted to wanted to wanted to come with or wanted to come over. So I said, okay, fine. This is the motel we're at. You can come over and hang out. You just can't be a fucking idiot. So they come over, and this is you could still smoke in hotel rooms back then. So, oh, I know. So he came over. He brought a couple kids with him, and we're smoking cigarettes, and they wanted to smoke weed, and I wasn't smoking at the time. So I told them they couldn't smoke in the room, so we had to go outside. Chet had one sip of my drink that I poured myself, a mixture of the vodka, the champagne, and some sort of fruit juice. And they went outside. They were smoking weed, and there was another group of kids out. They were probably, I don't know, 16 to 18, and we're hanging out. And this motel is right off of the highway, and we're all talking, and people are like talking about like flashing the cars and whatever. And our friend Travis was like, he hopped the fence. He was standing out at the road, just like flashing his dick, but he wasn't like doing much. And Chet was like talking shit to him, saying, tell him to go further and go further. And Travis wasn't doing it. So Chet, um, one sip of an alcoholic drink in, decides to hop the fence also, strip off every piece of clothing that he has. So t-shirt, he had a pair of jeans, a pair of basketball shorts, and underwear. Stripped all that off, goes into the highway, 4-lane highway, and he's doing jumping jacks, butt ass naked, toe touch. He fucking took his shoes and socks off, but toe touches, jumping jacks, whatever you can fucking imagine for I don't know 5 minutes. Then he hops the fence back, and we go back in the room, and we're laughing about it, and they want to smoke weed again, so we go outside. We're just sitting right outside the room now because this motel, you went from outside right into the room. It wasn't like you didn't have to go through hallways or whatever. So we go back outside, and we're all sitting on the room or sitting on the wall, and they're smoking weed, and I've got the bottle of vodka in my hand. Somebody's got the bottle of champagne. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a couple people walking, and I look over, and it's the hotel manager and two cops. So I look at everybody and say, okay, look, there's cops and the manager's coming. I'm sure it's because of this idiot. We got to go inside now. So they put the blunt out. We go inside. I roll my bottle under the bed. I look at Chet. I tell him, fucking put the top back in that and hide it. Put it under the bed. So I think he does that. 30 seconds later, there's pounding on the door. This is the manager. And Chet freaks out. He runs into the fucking bathroom. And we're all like froze. There's more pounding. This is the manager. I've got the city police with me. Open the door. And then they pound again. They say, if you don't open the door, we're going to come in anyway. So just open the door. So I open the door. They come in. They start questioning us about if any one of us was running around naked, blah, blah, blah. We're all, no. None of us were doing that. And one of the cops comes in, and she's looking around. She goes in the bathroom. And I hear she goes, okay, you've got to be kidding me. And then she comes walking out of the bathroom, followed by Chet. No shoes, no socks, no shirt, just basketball shorts and a cigarette. And he's, I don't know, 16, 17 at the time. They come out and they keep asking us the same question. Was anybody running around naked? Blah, blah, blah. And we keep saying no. And the male cop goes, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Somebody was running around naked. And I'm gonna put my money that it's on the guy wearing only a pair of shorts. He has no underwear on, no other clothes on, and he can't seem to find the rest of his clothes. So they do that. They give us all the breathalyzer. They let everybody go, but it's just me and Chet. Because go ahead.
No, I think it's important that you should mention what you two blew.
So I blew. What did I blow? So everybody else blew zeros. I think I blew .09. Is that what I blew?
Now, I don't know if you blew .09 because I think that they would have arrested
No.
So
I blew. No, because Travis blew .09, and they let him leave with Jackson, because Jackson was there. They let Jackson take Travis home. I blew .06. Chet blew .003. Because leading up to the breathalyzer, thank you. Leading up to the breathalyzer, they were looking around the room and they couldn't find anything. And they looked and they saw the fucking bottle of champagne that Chet, his hiding of it was he just set it on the other side of the bed. So it was not hidden. So they're asking us how much we all drank, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, I just had one drink. Trav said he had a little bit. Everybody else said none. Whatever. So when they breathalyzed us, because Chet said, I just had one sip. And they were like, there's no way you had one sip and you were running around the highway naked doing toe touches and whatever. And he blew it. And the guy looked, he's like, you've had one sip. Just like, that's what I told you. And he's like, I just don't see how anybody could. He was just so mind blown by the fact somebody could have such a low alcohol content and do something so fucking stupid. So, anyways, everybody else leaves. It's just me and Chet. And he goes, I'm going to give you to me. He goes, "I'm gonna give you the option. Do you want to go to jail for the night, or do you want me to call your parents and have them pick you up?" And I said, I told him, take me to jail. Do not call my mom. So he fucking calls my mom because he could see the terror in my eyes dealing with my mom. So he calls her, explains it to her, whatever. You're at my house still. You were still, up until this, you were still going to come over. And I think you were playing a video game or something, and then...
Yeah, I don't really remember what I was doing at that time, but I was planning on coming over, and I think I was playing a video game, and then your mom came up, and then she said, hey, how would you like to go for a ride with me? And I was like, that's weird. All right, yeah, I'll go with. And then as soon as we got in, Steve got he's at some shithole hotel with the fucking cops and Chet, and they've been drinking, and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Sorry. And up until this point, they had been asking us, because you got the room and they were using your real name. Who is this person who got the room? I'm like, oh, it's just my friend. I don't know where. I don't even think I said you were my friend. I just said you were this guy I knew who I gave you some money to get the room. The cops were trying to figure out who you were, where you were. The manager was, blah, blah, blah. So they were like actively looking for you. And then was that the extent of your conversation with my mom? Just her like saying that, or?
Pretty much. I mean, she kind of just went on a little rant on the drive there, but I was just kind of being quiet and not to draw any suspicion to myself.
Yeah. So by the time you guys pull up, me and Chet are sitting outside in the parking lot with these two cops, and we're like sitting on their car, and we're talking, and I see my mom's car pull up, and I'm like, and the guy asked if that was her, and I said, yeah. I was looking, I'm like, oh, and he goes, oh, I think she brought your dad with her. What the fuck? I'm like, no, that's not my dad. That's, and he goes, yeah, who is that? Because I think he thought it was the person who rented the room, and I don't know how, but I mentally quickly connected this. And it used your real name. I go, that's Max. And I could just see like a semi-deflated look on his face. He was thinking that the person who rented this room, you've said your name in here before. He was thinking that Scott was here so he could get Scott. But no, that's Max. That's my buddy Max.
Well, what's funny is if he would have walked up, because they had a copy of the ID, so if he would have walked up, he could have seen that it was me. That dummy.
Yeah, but that was that was an interesting experience, to say the least.
Yeah, especially with your mom, and when you were in the van and she's asking, who bought you the fucking room? And I'm sitting up front and I'm just like, don't say it, don't fucking say it.
What did I say? I remember that, and I remember.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah. And, oh, man. That's a good friend. I didn't throw your ass under the bus to fucking Satan.
Yeah, I know, but now the way you told me what you told me in the last story, though, was that you actually mentioned my name to the cop.
What do you mean?
When you said, oh, no, that's my friend Scott, that's what you told me. And he was like, "Oh, well, you better call your buddy Scott to get see if he can pay your bail."
Oh, yeah, about
all the bottles and all that shit?
About the bottles lined up. Yeah, I said it was. Well, yeah, I used your real name to him, but when I was telling the story on the podcast, I forgot that you have used your actual first name before. But I told him, "Oh, that's my friend Scott's." Blah. He wanted me to throw him out in the dumpster or whatever. So yeah, I actually used your name, but I didn't use your last name. But I thought he was wanting me to like call you to verify it was actually yours. because you were of age. But when we were at that fucking hotel, I held you down. He was looking for Scott, and I gave him Max.
All they had to do was just look and see. They could have just had me.
They will never make detective.
No. In fact, they're probably the ones that, like, beat the suspects and shit and
Yeah.
got in trouble.
All right, well, we've officially went half an hour over. So, do you have anything else to add before we cut this shit off?
No, just follow me on Twitter. Is it the Dirty Dog 1?
At the Dirty Dog 2Gs 1. At the Dirty Dog 1.
And follow mid_confession on Twitter.
Yep.
Goodbye.